Hi, and welcome everyone to another episode of Kiss&Tell. I am Josh.
And I'm Cindy.
And today we're going to talk about... What are we going to talk about, honey?
We're going to talk about distance.
Ooh, distance. What about distance?
Just the difficulties there are that come with having a long-distance relationship.
Okay. Yeah, I know there was a lot of difficulties with having a long-distance relationship. We did long-distance for a long time, across the country and across the globe.
Yes.
So what were the biggest challenges that we had with being distance?
They were mainly trust issues.
Okay.
Loneliness.
Yes.
They were also just less communication.
Okay, and almost kind of connecting in a way. Okay.
Connection and different time schedules.
Yeah.
With work and things like that, and also just different time zones even.
Oh yeah, yeah. Just doing 3 hours apart, then doing we were 12 and 13 for a while.
Yeah.
Just different hours apart. Okay. So
Josh, now that we just listed all the examples, how did we deal with trust? Do you think? Like, how could we give some advice?
How do you even think we deal with trust? Well, I think it goes back to you have to have some understanding for your partner, and you almost have to have a clear understanding of where are you in the relationship, and what are your rules for the relationship. So what are your expectations? So what is permissible, what's not permissible, and really that trust, that building that trust is all predicated around doing what you say you're going to do.
Right.
So whether you set a time to call each other or to talk, or you're going to do this or be at this thing, and then you do it. And then you report back, kind of thing. That's really how trust is built, right?
Yeah, because you know what? Actually, if you don't mind, there were specific instances where sometimes we planned things, and it didn't happen. Yeah. And I got crushed by some of that sometimes, where like we committed to a date. Like for example, when I was in Thailand and you were coming out to visit me, we specifically said, like maybe even in February. Yeah. And then it didn't happen then. And then it was like, okay, I promised to be there at least for your birthday. My birthday's in March, March. And then that didn't happen either. And then it was just like, wow, So it can be tough, but we did work through it. Yeah,
and stuff like that can be difficult because there was a lot of things going around surrounding it. Traveling across the country or traveling around the globe for 2 months at that time, and I just couldn't make it happen at that time. Right. So. It ended up being a week. It ended up being a week later or something like that. So, but it's still that was challenging in our relationship at the time because it was like I committed to do it at that point. I couldn't get it.
And then I didn't want to be like angry with you because I knew it wasn't. That's not an easy thing to do. Coming from the U.S. to Asia is not easy.
It was fun. Yeah. It just wasn't easy. Yeah. Okay, so the big key about trust is making those commitments and doing what you say do. And then if you can't make that, I remember I apologized a lot. Yeah. So there was definitely a really heartfelt, sincere apology, and I'm going to make it up for it. I'm going to do better. Work to do better the next time.
Yeah. And then how I got through that actually was just you were talking to me just about having more faith. Yeah. And and so then I kind of just like let go of the date and just had faith that he would do what he promised. Yeah. And then he didn't actually make it, and then I let go of all that stress, so it helped me a lot. Yeah,
that's really good. That's really important. I mean, sometimes the goal doesn't change, but the date does. Yeah. And that's whoosh is the sound of a goal rushing by as you didn't quite get it in the time that you wanted to. Yeah. So sometimes God's delays are not God's denials, and it all happens in that kind of sort of time. Okay, so that kind of wraps up for trust kind of stuff. So what was the next one? The next one was
loneliness.
Loneliness. So this one, I think this one plagues guys a little bit, but it might plague women a little bit more. What was kind of your take on loneliness?
I kind of dealt with it more like I had something I was passionate about, something that I was able to focus on, a lot of energy on. Like at the time, I'm sure some of you guys know, but I do modeling on the side, and I literally started that like a little bit after we met. Okay. And so that really was just kicking off, and I just put so much focus into that. Just looking for photographers and planning out shoots and things like that. And, I got a lot going really fast.
Yeah.
So because I was like so into that and so happy, and also I was going to school at the time.
Yeah.
So that was like.
So you had some type of mission, some type of purpose, some type of focus that you were able to dedicate energy to. And when were the times where you felt the most stressed out by the loneliness?
Probably when I wasn't.
When you weren't doing anything.
When I wasn't doing much, like maybe for that week I didn't have any shoots or something like that. There was maybe just a time where it was just like nothingness.
Yeah. So I mean, and this place for guys as well is to get on your mission, get on your purpose, and get in that place, because that's gonna keep you focused in that time of your way.
Yeah. So just really having anything, whether it's sports, exercise,
family, friends,
art,
if you're going out with friends.
Yeah, just any kind of activity, any kind of hobby, I guess.
Yep. So you really, the best thing to solve that is get a life. It sounds like. So it's all right? So and that's a key to a relationship in general, is that you don't come to get in a relationship. If you're coming from the place of this person's here to make me whole, this is kind of one of the myths of relationship. It's a place to go and give, and your relationship magnifies that experience. So you want to have those experiences where you're out doing something, and then something exciting happens, and you can call your partner up and share it with them.
I was just going to say, that's another thing. Like when I had that stuff to do, I had a lot more of a high energy.
Yep.
And I was really happy most of the time, just really positive. And also, like, because I was that way, I think I drew you in more.
Well, yeah,
because,
both of them.
You want to talk to someone who's positive and upbeat and passionate about something, because as soon as you hear about stuff like that, you're like, man, what can I do?
Yeah.
So then it's like somebody gets you going kind of thing.
Yep.
So we were like,
feed off each other.
Give and take.
It magnifies the relationship, makes things a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think those are some good solutions for loneliness. Okay. So what was the third one? The third one.